64-bit legends. Welcome.
Legend of the game like GoldenEye, I'm more than right.
Yeah.
The perfect dark is dreams that seem to come to life. 64-bit, the shit, it's as real as it
Yeah.
gets. We can
Yeah.
talk sports, games, and music, take your pick. Point with the news, pull up and crack a brew. Smoke one with the crew,
Smoke.
tune in and take a view.
Watch.
We here to raise the bar from the lowest mark. Sit your ass down and listen, it's time for the show to start.
Aw, people at home, don't you dare be sour. Clap for the world's greatest podcast and feel the power. I am Bobby Caboose, the best in the business. This is the 64-bit legends. Always looking for that hot tag is Melvin fucking Troy.
Cracking open a can of whoop ass.
Oh shit! It's almost Austin 316 day, but welcome back, man.
Yes.
We had the Rumble stats last episode.
Yep.
Diving through Max Rebo's stats was a great time. This week we're kind of playing it by ear, and I'm gonna start it off. I'm gonna start it off, man, with a quick question and a a little background. I was thinking the other day, how old are you? 36?
36.
I'll be
I'm getting
37
old.
this year, right? And I'm 35, and I'll be 36 this year. It just came to me, man. Valentine's Day just passed, and I was wondering, okay, since we're getting older, what is the youngest girl you would go after, like as age rise? Like we're not doing anything illegal.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to be probably someone that can get into a bar.
But yeah,
But,
that's
like,
preferable. Yes.
If a cute girl came up to you and she was 21 or 22, is that still in the ballpark for us?
So I think so. I think so. First of all, let me go back a little bit, because I think that at my age, there's girls in their early 20s that'll date dudes that are like 50.
Yeah.
I mean, they may be a little off,
Right.
But they'll do it. I mean, I've seen it. However, what would I be willing to put up with? And I could tell you, if they're younger than 25, I will probably get extremely irritated.
Same.
Because 25 is the cutoff. At 25, you kind of understand more about the world, so you can actually have like an opinion on things. I know personally, when I was younger than 25, like I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
Like I thought I knew things.
I don't think I know shit when I'm 35. Fuck.
Yeah, I remember. Honestly, I think it was about like 25, 26. And I realized I had a strong opinion about something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I knew it was the opposite of what I once believed. It was a moment where my mind was actually changing on
In real time.
Yeah, in my belief systems. And I was like, oh, dude, I was so stupid. Like, I can't believe I thought this or that, or that the world worked this way. And as I've got older, I started to see that. Like, when I talk to somebody that's 25, 26, they're still a little, sometimes it can be a little naive and things like that, but they're typically, they'll have enough life experience where they've kind of fucked up a little bit.
Right.
Where they know how to survive, or not 100%, but they'll make more mistakes, of course. But yeah, if you're younger than 25, shut the fuck up.
See,
I don't know if I could even date you.
My exception to the rule is like, okay, so, we obviously started this podcast a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And both of us have similar goals with this podcast and
Yep.
with the content that we create. If I found a girl that was younger than 25, older than 21, somewhere in that range, and she had the drive and if she wanted to kind of do similar things that I wanted to do, I think that would be the exception, because
Sure.
it'd be like a little kick in the ass, like, yo, I gotta get my game going and get this shit, to the next level.
Right.
But it would be kind of cool to do that with somebody. And I don't think most girls in their, our age or older than 25, or maybe I'll give it a couple more years, maybe 28, 29. I don't think a lot of girls have that ambition to do shit like that. Not that I need someone or want someone that, is super like woman CEO type, but if they have goals that they want to accomplish and shit like that, I think that would be the exception to the rule. But I wouldn't be able to fucking listen to their music or watch their fucking shit. And, I would have to introduce them to like everything like 80s, 90s related.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I can. So I purposely try to be like in touch with kind of what's going on in
Right.
like pop culture and whatnot.
And that would be a plus for me because I have no fucking idea, man. I didn't know
Yeah.
even why the fucking Paul brothers were fucking famous for the longest time.
Yeah, so like that, I followed all that. Like I purposely try to have a foot in the youthful world because I never want to be old out of touch guy.
Right.
I know eventually I will be that, but I
feel
want
like
to.
I'm like that already.
I want to mitigate it as much as possible. And but with that being said, there's also like, and it's when it comes to like dating somebody, I feel that there's a couple age ranges to beware of. Okay, number one is under 25. If they're under 25, especially at my age, I think I could date I think I have the capacity
Right.
or capability. Like I think there's somebody that is that age that could be attracted to me. However, again, I don't know if I'd want to deal with that and deal with that type of person necessarily that wants to date someone 15 years their senior. However, the other side of it is age 29 to 31. That is a
small range.
scary. No. Beware. That is a beware age.
Because they're hitting 30.
Because they're hitting 30, and every time I hear about a girl, and someone says, "Oh yeah, they're on some weird shit right now. Oh, they're fucking up. Oh, I wish they could." I've heard about it at least 6 times over like the last couple of years, maybe more than that. I'm lost count about some girl that's kind of like they're off their shit. Shit ain't going right. They're getting divorced. Whatever it is, they do these dramatic life changes, and I always ask, how old are they? I'm guessing around 30, and they'll say somewhere in the range 29 to 31. It is a
It's that
dangerous
biological
age.
clock, man.
Yeah. So
It's ticking.
this is the way I look at it. If I'm going to date someone that's younger than me, you got to be between the ages of 25 and 27, 28 max.
Okay.
Okay? Then I don't want to touch you until you're 32 years old. That's it. I ain't going to fucking come near you.
Like, look, we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
Come back to me in 3 years.
Once you have that fucking existential crisis of hitting your 30s, women can't handle it.
Right.
Men seem to ease into their 30s no problem. Women, they cannot handle getting into their 30s. It is a nightmare for them for some reason. And I think it's because they know deep down inside and I know I'm going to sound like fucking, what's that guy's name? I think he even escaped recently. What's the bald guy that all the
Stone Cold?
yeah, I'm gonna sound like Stone Cold Steve Austin now. No, the guy that everyone hates, the fucking
Howie Mandel?
yes, I'm gonna sound just like Howie Mandel.
A bald guy.
The guy that all the women hate right now, Andrew Tate.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, we'll see them.
I'm out of touch.
Yeah. I'm not trying to sound like Andrew Tate here, but I might sound a little
Who's
bit like
Andrew
it.
Tate?
This guy, I'm surprised you didn't hear about this guy. So he's like one of these men's guru types
Okay.
about dating, and his audience really is just like young dudes that are like in their early 20s. They may be virgins, maybe they're not virgins, but they just can't. They don't have any real
don't have
luck with
game.
women. Yeah, and he teaches them about like having game. And I remember there was a period of time when we were that age. There was that book, The Game, that came out.
Yeah, with the
Pickup artist.
Pickup artist. I was going to say disaster artist.
The Disaster Artist, yes. Tommy Wiseau.
Tommy Wiseau is like, oh, hi, Mark.
The pickup, because he had the show, Mystery had the show.
Yeah.
I think it was just called The Pickup Artist on
Yeah,
VH1.
it was called Pickup Artist.
Yeah, like that was the thing. And it was kind of like this little, like, I read that book, and some of their stuff can work, but it's like, you try it 100 times, you're guaranteed to get success.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
Like it's not new science or anything like that. So this Andrew Tate is kind of like the new age version of that, but he's very much about like, 80% of the women chase after I think this is something. I don't know.
20% of the guys.
20% of the guys, that type of shit. I'm
And
sure.
it's the reverse. It's like 80% of the women go, or 80% of the men, or something like that. 20% her. I don't know.
20% of the guys get with 80% of the women.
Yes.
I think that's how it goes. Something like that. I may be butchering it, but you get the idea. And it's like stuff like that.
Same thing with the dating sites and shit.
Yeah. And it's all like women always want like high value men. So the other side of his pitch is become a high value man. And how do you do that? Well, pay $50 a month to join my fucking club, and then it turns out where it's like a multi-level marketing scheme to push his content, but you get I think you get a piece of the ad revenue. And so, I mean, he had a good hustle.
Right.
But come to find out, the way he was making his millions wasn't even from that. He was already like super wealthy. He had like this cam site business where he was in Romania, and he would do these. He's not even under investigation. He was arrested for human trafficking because basically what he would do is. I'm sure you've seen the messages or you've been spammed the messages before where it's like, hey, it's some girl.
Live cam show or whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Come, hey, she'll try to talk to you. And then it's like, they go on Tinder sometimes too. And they're
Yeah.
like, oh, click this link though and join the party or whatever.
Yeah, you got in trouble by one of those bots.
I did. Actually, I just told that story on the stream.
Oh, did
recently.
you?
Yeah.
That's a good story.
We actually told about it on the podcast.
Did we?
I was reminded by You Ain't Hardcore, shout out You Ain't Hardcore, that he actually heard that story from the podcast.
Okay.
We must have did it a few years ago.
So did I? Well, is that the same episode, or did we ever talk about the girl that tried to sleep with my mom?
I think so. I think that was
Okay.
the one. So anyway, Andrew Tate. So he had this system where he would get these women to basically entice lonely dudes and just extract money from them. And they
Right.
would text and they'd be like, they basically just try to like, because they would not only do the cam stuff, but then they would also be able to text with them constantly. But the girls weren't actually texting or doing anything. He had other people just that would write everything
Right.
and constantly just milk these guys for their money. Well, what he would do to get the women there, though, is he would do the same thing to the women and have the women fall in love with him or his brother or other people he worked with. And then they would fly out like, oh, I got all this money,
Right.
whatever, come be with me. And they would kind of like, quote unquote, date a little bit. And then they would fly to Romania. And then they would essentially just take their passport away and basically be like, you can't leave now. And you have to work for me. But it wasn't like overt.
Awesome.
It wasn't overt. It was kind of like the same way like R. Kelly
Right.
or people hear about like Drake has like this fucking cult of women.
Yeah, like R. Kelly, man, he would use the thing of I can't read and make him like read to him and shit, but like be like very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And then they would be like, "Aw," and
would-
then he'd be like, "Well, you can't leave this room now."
Yeah. So it was basically the same.
Like some manipulation type shit.
It was the same thing, but just on a massive scale. And the guy was making fucking millions. And he got super famous. He got ultra famous because of all of this pro masculinity talk that all these young 20-year-old teenagers or whatever dudes got into because they feel lost.
Right.
And some of the stuff he was saying is kind of factual, but the problem was there was a lot of bullshit in there too. So it's like it's kind of tough to like
Weave through what's factual and
it's kind of like Alex Jones. Like Alex Jones, there's some truth in there,
but there's a lot of smoke screen and shit.
yeah, there's all this craziness around it, So it was kind of like that. I know someone out there is probably like an Andrew Tate fan who's like, you're butchering it. Listen, this is the concept, though. You can't deny I'm like 80, 90% there. So anyway, that's Andrew Tate. And women hated him to the point he was banned, like Alex Jones, basically from everything.
Right.
He was taken down off of YouTube, Instagram, all this other shit. And then now that he's arrested in Romania, well, he was held in jail for human trafficking. In Romania, I guess, unlike America, like if they're bringing charges against you, they actually put you in jail first so you don't escape, and then they investigate you.
Gotcha.
I read a headline. This may not be true. This may be bullshit, but I read the headline and he escaped recently, and it's like, it's so crazy. But anyway, I say all of that because I'm going to tell you right now that when you date a woman between the ages of 29 and 31, it's a fucking nightmare, because I believe it's because they know that the commodity they have of their good looks is fading,
Yes.
and they don't know how to face that reality.
Yeah, like
They don't know it.
I used to have like a certain type.
Yeah.
When I like, especially when we were younger, and that type is no longer my type because I see what these girls turn into. Like the girls I had crushes on,
Yeah.
not looking too good anymore.
No, yeah, they're
And I don't know if it's because post baby.
Could be
or,
that, yeah.
Or just letting themselves go.
because they get fat.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I used to like thick girls,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And like there was always a difference between being thick
Yeah.
and fat. But once you hit that 30 mark, like I mean, and plus couple years,
Well-
dude, they get big, man.
Well, think of what, like, I know for myself, I got really out of shape at 30.
Yeah.
Because your body changes.
Same. Before I started working at UPS, man, I was
Yeah.
the heaviest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Luckily, the 6 months so far, like I don't think I've gained much weight. People are still
Yeah.
like complimenting me on my weight for some reason, and that's been happening for a couple years now, ever since I worked at UPS and that. But or people might just not see me very often, or I don't know what the fuck. But I get told I'm a little slim in the face, which I I enjoy that
Well,
compliment.
but and I think there's a type of women that, and it does happen to them because they're fun to be around when they're young because they're impulsive.
Yeah.
But that impulsivity does not age well because there's a lot of bad habits that go along with it, and all that funness, that fun, impulsive, like, hey, let's go out and have a good time stuff. Yeah, it does not age well.
No.
Like, really, for me, my thing is I don't even care. Like, I'm more of a like. It's gonna sound creepy for me to say it. Like, I like them small, but I like thinner girls.
I like them small so I can prance, or not prance, but
But
like fucking pounce on them.
yeah. No, I like
Pounce on my prey.
I like because I'm not a huge guy myself, so I like smaller, like petite girls,
Right.
like that. And the thing is that, yeah, as you get older, you see less and less of that because they kind of let themselves go,
Right.
and or if they don't, they're like heavily medicated. So, and that's what keeps the weight off.
Yeah. No, I knew a chick, dude, back like 10 years ago, who was getting the lipo, right? She was getting a tit job and lipo. And she wasn't fat at the beginning, she was a thick girl, and she looked good, but she was getting a boob job and the lipo all at once. Well, her strategy, or her process, or like thinking process, she was like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want until I get this surgery.
You can't do that. That's the worst thing to do.
Because that just, like, yeah, that fat might go away, but not only are you clogging your arteries, but the habit of eating that shit
Yep.
is gonna stick with you. And like, if anyone knows that, I know that I can't get off fucking fast food if my fucking life depended on it, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to limit, just like I try to eat in a certain time of the day,
Yeah.
and don't eat all day. And I eat like 2 meals and that's it within a span of like 4 or 5 hours, and I pretty much fast for the rest of the time I'm awake or sleeping. But yeah, she was like, I'm gonna eat whatever I want and pig out and then get this surgery. I'm like, that's not the way to go about this.
Well, the other side of that is that when you lose weight, you don't lose any fat. Your fat cells shrink.
Right.
But lipo is the removal of fat cells. So what'll end up happening is she'll gain all this weight, they'll suck all these fat cells out, but then if it shrinks back down, if she starts eating like she used to, the fat cells will shrink down, and she's gonna be all like blotchy, like she's gonna have chunks of like fat and no fat. It's gonna look all fucking weird. It won't be, or the opposite. If she ends up gaining more weight, she's gonna have like chunks of fat in these weird places, like cottage cheese. It's gonna be nuts. That girl is fucked up. She fucked up.
Yeah, she does. She done fucked up.
Yes, plastic surgery isn't going to solve it. You got to have some good. You got to have some good habits in there. But I don't. Yeah, I think that. I think the youngest like age range I've ever been with. We didn't really date too long. It was maybe like a month.
Yeah.
But I was 26, 25, 26.
Okay.
And she was like 18, 19. She was in college.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And it was fun, but you couldn't go anywhere.
Right.
And like we would go to like parties or whatever, but like yeah, we couldn't go to the bar.
Right.
It wasn't, and honestly, we just didn't have anything to talk about.
Right.
So it was like,
Well,
it
yeah,
kinda, like,
I
went
was
away.
a little older. I was, I think, 29 or 30.
Yeah.
And I, like, I guess messed around a little bit with a 19-year-old.
Yeah.
But, like, you know her, and she's fucking batshit crazy. You've been to a couple parties that she was at. She's a little older now,
Oh.
and she's still around in that group, but she's fucking batshit crazy.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Like, me and her fell asleep on a couch, right? We fall asleep on a couch together, and I wake up, and she is sitting next to me on the floor. She's on the floor while I was sleeping,
Yeah.
and just staring at me. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, you were too big, and I couldn't fit on the couch. I go, there's another couch right over there. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing? And it was funny because, well, not really funny, but she took pictures of me sleeping.
Oh wow.
Found out that like years later. But in one of the pictures, because she showed, my friend one of the pictures. Well, in one of the pictures, their cat is like staring at her and like has like this judgmental face. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bitch? It's so funny. But yeah, same thing. Like, we had nothing in common. I saw the first time I saw her was like a picture. My friend showed me a picture, and I was like, "Oh, who's that girl? She looks kind of hot."
Yeah.
And that's how it started. And I didn't know she was fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's still kind of obsessed with me till this day. I went to a party where I showed up and she started hyperventilating. So,
Well, that's what I told. I said this earlier. There's girls out there that will date older men, like far older men, but there's usually something a little off about
right.
them. And that's the thing you got to be aware of. That's why at my age, I won't go south of 10 years. That's it. So 25, 26, that's it.
Yeah.
And it works out. Now, I'll keep it at that level for probably another 5 years, but I'm going to be honest. I don't know what, when I'm 40, I don't know what 25-year-old's going to be. At that point,
Right.
it'll be 30. But that's the danger zone, so I got to be careful.
You got to be 32.
Yeah, I got to bump that up, so it's like a jump. So I'm gonna keep it there, and then when I hit 40, I'll be like,
So
all
no,
right.
maybe okay. So when you're 40, you still have the same standards as today, right?
Yeah.
I'm solving this.
Oh,
issue
I see.
Live,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
When you're 40, it's fine, right? You still go for 25 to 28-year-olds.
Yeah,
When you hit 42, that's when
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
to 32.
yeah, you got to jump. It's like a big jump.
Yeah.
I think that works. Yeah, that makes sense. But I think, I think at this point, if I take care of myself and everything, and I'll maybe get on a round of some sort of testosterone in the next couple of years, I'll be able to regain or retain my youth.
You're gonna get cucked by Frank Thomas and Doug Flutie, the
No,
Nutrigenics.
not that. Like real, like go to the doctor, not fucking over the counter bullshit
Good.
Nutrigenics.
You don't want to get cucked by them?
Like fucking Warren Sapp and whatever that fucking other guy's name is, Flutie.
It's Frank Thomas.
Whatever.
And Doug Flutie, not Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp has never been in those commercials.
Could have sworn he was in there somewhere.
No.
He was hiding in a bush. He was like peeking
He's like,
over.
oh, Frank Thomas, you just got done fucking my wife. Yeah,
Yeah.
use this Nutrigenics. She liked it too.
No, not that fucking shit. No,
Why
I'll
not,
go.
man? They offer a free bottle if you text them.
No, I'll go to a doctor. I'll just be like, give me the fucking. Because honestly,
Give me the Flutie
yeah,
treatment.
give me that Warren Sapp shit. Give me that shit that Warren Sapp.
Give me that Warren Sapp dick.
But no, that's what I'll do. Because by then, I figure I don't want to do it now because once you get on that, then you're kind of on it for life.
Yeah.
So at 40, I'll be like, whatever. I could probably pay for this for another 10, 15 years. I don't know how you do that. I think you got to give yourself a shot in the ass. I don't know how that works. It's basically steroids, by the way.
Right.
I found that out. So, like, if you ever notice, if you go online, all these dudes are just fucking jacked.
Yeah.
And you're like, how are they getting steroids? Like, it's obviously it's steroids. They go to the doctor and they're like getting testosterone.
Maybe I need to do that.
You can do. Honestly, I got ads. This is how it came across my periph on Facebook. There was ads. Now I don't know.
Clickbait?
Well, it wasn't even clickbait. They were just ads for testosterone to get a prescription. You just go get you set up a thing on the web, like I think it was because of COVID, because they opened up the regulations, so you can meet with a doctor on Zoom, and they'll just write you a prescription. You do a testosterone check. If it comes low, they'll just be like, "Here's some testosterone," and all of a sudden you just start injecting it, and then testosterone that's steroids essentially. I mean, if you look at like old school wrestler steroids, I mean they're doing some other shit too. I mean, because
I want to be like the Ultimate Warrior, in like 3 weeks,
dude. Well, that shit you got to be careful, because then you got to I was reading about it, and what ends up happening is you got to cycle it in, but you got to cycle it out, and I think they got to do like estrogen to like level it out. It's like, I ain't doing that. Just give me something so I could fucking, when I'm 40, I'll feel like I'm 35, maybe 30 at best. Like, give me that. Give me like hormone replacements, growth hormone, or whatever the fuck.
I just want to wake up in 3 weeks and be the Ultimate Warrior size, and not have to put in any work.
Okay, we know somebody that will remain nameless. He also happens to be a cook at a fucking bar that you attend to on a regular basis.
Yes.
Who was just doing straight up steroids without working out, and he ended up with a bowling ball gut. He didn't work. He didn't lift one weight. He just kept injecting steroids. He ended up with that bowling ball gut.
Where was he injecting steroids? Like right into his stomach?
I don't know.
Jesus.
Either his ass, his stomach. No, stomach's for fucking diabetics. So he's probably in his ass. So he was.
Well, I want the reverse. I want to wake up like the Ultimate Warrior one day.
Well, I don't know. You're gonna have to work out.
God damn it!
You're gonna have to do some horse fucking testosterone or some shit. But yeah, I think that's. But I think if I do that, I'll have a good. I think my goal. I'm 36. I'm gonna be 37 later this year. My goal actually after this podcast, I'm going to the gym, and I want to work out for the rest of the year, and I want to have like I want to be healthy for the rest of my 30s. And then by 40, like I said, I'll go to the doctor and be like, just give me, I don't even care anymore. Give me whatever drugs you got to give me. Because I'm on the decline anyway, so it doesn't matter. What are you going to give me? Outside of painkillers, you can't fuck me up. Like, we're just going to, so, just give me that, and then I'll have a good run, because I know I'm not going to be married at 40. I don't think I'm ever gonna get married. I don't think that's in the cards.
Maybe one girl will just be walking down the street.
If I get
hey, okay, I'm gonna paint a picture for you.
All right.
Maybe one girl is gonna be walking down the street, maybe near I don't know, let's say a mall.
Okay.
She's walking down the street, looking pretty from afar.
All right.
And she's walking by this mall, and you're at a red light. And you're like, hey, that girl looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So you put down the window, cat call her over. She's like, hey, how are you? And you're like, good, how are you? Do you need a ride somewhere? And she's like, yeah, that would be awesome. So she gets in your car.
This sounds like a hooker scenario. I refuse to pay for sex.
So you're not paying for anything. You're giving her a ride.
Okay.
You guys spark up a conversation. She might be a little weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
she is weird. She's hitchhiking.
She's not hitchhiking. She's
in 2023.
She's just walking. Like, it'd be normal if it was New York, but since it's Metro Detroit, it's weird.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
So she's walking down the road. You pick her up. You guys spark up a conversation. She's a little weird, little quiet, and she just starts sucking your dick. And you're like, you know what? I like this. And so
I don't know about this.
So then you
I don't think.
then you take her to the mall, right?
Uh-huh.
And you park into a spot and you end up fucking her, right? And you're fucking her and she's gyrating on your penis. And
I'm supposed to marry this girl?
maybe you
No.
fall in love. But so she's gyrating you on your on your penis. And she all of a sudden stops.
Yeah.
And she looks you dead in the eye and she's like, "You want to know the funny thing about this?"
Uh-huh.
And you're like, "Yeah." And she goes, "I've had sex in the same exact parking spot before." So then you're like, "Fuck, man, I guess that's cool." So, you finish it off and that's how you fall in love.
Maybe if my name was either Jason or Chris, maybe that would be a thing.
Or Andrew.
Or Andrew, yes.
So that, and then maybe she's got.
But not me.
Maybe.
That's not for me.
But and then you're at the bar with your buddies, and you're like, "Hey, I met this great girl,"
Yeah.
and your buddies are like, "Oh shit,
Yeah.
can I see a picture of her?"
No, this should not be me,
And-
as a matter of fact.
And you're like, "Yeah, here she is," and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, she's really cute." And then there's one person at the table, and they're like, "Hey, is her name so and so?" And you're like, "Yeah," and you're like, "Yeah, she's a huge whore." And then you're like, "Well, I love her," and happily ever after, man.
No, that would not happen.
Why not?
None of that
Why
would happen.
not? It happened to somebody else almost.
I know it happened to someone else, but I'm not that person. I'm not just picking up strangers driving on the street.
Well, he didn't pick her up on the street. That's just what she did. But he found her on a dating site.
Well, yeah, that fucking asshole did. Yeah. I would have done none of that.
And he went down on her.
I know. He was an idiot. You should have known when she sucked down 4 Long Islands in one night. That should have been a tip-off. Like,
Dude.
this girl, there's something wrong with her.
When you look into her eyes, it's like looking into Jaws.
Yes, they're black like a doll's eyes.
She's got no iris,
No.
no soul.
No. He should have known. He thought he struck gold, that fucking
He
idiot.
did, and then we told him that he's got herpes on his lip, and he freaked out.
Yeah, that's not doing any of that.
I think that's how you meet your wife.
No.
Yep.
No, I will not. The only way I could see myself ever getting married is it would end up becoming like a business transaction where it's like, well, we might as well because,
Insurance.
insurance. But I would put everything I owned in a trust. So I actually own nothing and the trust owns everything. So if I get divorced, they don't get shit. That's the way I would do it.
Sign a prenup.
No, those aren't airtight. Trusts. You got to put them in a trust. Irrevocable.
I
trust,
think
something like that?
my scenario would work out for you.
No,
Not
no, I'm
necessarily
gonna do
that person, that exact person, but something like
You know
that
what?
scenario.
You know what I would honestly like, and I'm gonna be honest. I would
A
be
mute?
willing to I would be willing to drop down my
Standard.
the look standard, because I like
I like beautiful bitches.
I do, but they don't need to be. I think I've talked about this before elsewhere, but honestly, I don't want a 10. First of all, so I have a metric. Woman, rate them 1 to 10 as far as looks. 10 being best. 10s don't exist. First of all, my
They're
theory
unicorns?
is it's a unicorn because that is perfection, and everyone can strive for perfection, but they'll never reach it. So 10s don't exist. So we can chop that off immediately.
I would say like Mandy Rose is a 10.
She's probably like a 9.5 or something. So then you have 9. Now, women can be 9s or in that range. The problem with 9s and even 8s, I would even say 7, 8s, and 9s, the problem with that is I don't trust them. And let me explain to you why. Because they're good looking and they know they're good looking. And so they're going to more likely try to use that to sell you in some way to get their way. It's like walking on a used car lot. You know that they're there to sell you. you know that you in the back of your mind you can't fully trust what they're saying because they're always like you're always going to second guess. Like, do I really want to do that, or am I just being convinced because she's attractive, type of thing? So I'm like, nope, we're just going to remove those options right off the table. We're not even going to fuck around with that. Now let's go on the other end of the spectrum. 1s, 2s, and 3s. I'm sorry, I don't fuck with uggos. So get the fuck out of here. So what I want is a solid 4, 5, or a 6. That's honestly. So I'm
It's
willing.
like Lisa Berger or whatever the fuck her name was from South Park. When they when Butters started dating the chick because Wendy like put her on Instagram and put all the filters.
Oh,
and
yeah,
she was
yeah,
fucking
yeah, yeah, yeah.
hot, and he's walking
Yeah.
around with her, and he's like, "Look at my girlfriend." And it's on her phone.
I'd prefer a 5 or a 6, but I'll go to a 4 if they're peaceful. What I mean by
That's
that
pretty
is,
low, man.
but you can't put a price tag on peace. Like if they're supportive and they're peaceful
Well, then I should have married my ex. Jesus.
and they're, I mean, is she a 4?
I mean, I thought she was a little above a 4, maybe a 5 or a 6. No,
Well, there you
I would
go.
say 6.
Well, there you go.
But like we had nothing in common. There was nothing ever to talk about. But she was a chick.
Well, but yeah, there's got to be a connection. You can't deny. There has to be. That's a given. So I'll be willing to go. I'd prefer a 5 or a 6. A 6 preferably, obviously. Preferably a 6. But I'll go to a 5. We have to have a connection across the board of all 3. But if you're peaceful, you're supportive, and you are self-sufficient, combination of all of that, I don't need another mother. I don't need you to care. I don't need you to baby me. In fact, I hate that. But I need you to be able to handle your own shit. I need you to understand how to do your own taxes. If you can do that and maintain a job and have survival instinct, I'll date you if you're a 4. That's the way
Nice.
that's the way it'll go. So that's my age. That's my range of on the look scale. I would love to be ideally with a 7, 8, or a 9, but I don't trust them for a second.
See, my
I don't-
plan is to just get rich and famous, right?
But then you gotta. But even if I did that, I'd still keep that same scale
No, rich and famous, right?
because they're even more so gonna try to fuck you over.
Rich and famous. You get all your shit sealed tight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you just have trophy wives, and if they fuck up, you just replace them.
I don't know, but you still
But
there's a lot of shady stuff people could do.
I actually thought about this the other day. Like, why would, if I was a celebrity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would I date any celebrity? Like, I would date like a successful other kind of chick, because like, why? Like, celebrity marriages never work out, or relationships, and you know, it just
It's essentially, I think, in that world, it's like dating a coworker. It doesn't work out.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
But those are the people you're around all the time, depending on
right. But if you
movies
could have
and
like a
stuff.
nice successful like doctor or something, you know,
True.
you could have something in someone
But-
else's profession that
but-
is still.
But think about it, like one of the more famous ones. I think they're divorced now, but one of the more famous ones was like Brad Pitt and
Angelina.
But they met doing a movie together.
Right.
And I get it. You're
You're with them for months
like,
on end.
Yeah, it's like you can form a relationship, and they're like a big example, and I'm sure the pressure of being like a celebrity power couple kept them together a lot longer than it probably should
Right.
have. But it's that's what it is. You meet someone because you're working in that, and you can understand. But yeah, because of that and all the other stresses, I'm sure it can. The same thing at work. You know, if you're a couple that meets at work, everyone now knows that you're the work couple.
Right.
So everyone's looking at you, and there's like an inherent pressure about like anytime there's a rift in the relationship, everyone knows about it.
Yep.
And so that's the problem. That's the
That's
real
why,
problem.
like when you get into a group, whether it's at work or like say even like if you're a regular at a bar, right?
Yeah.
And you start dating one of the chicks that work there or another regular, everyone's gonna fucking know about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my ideal woman wouldn't say fucking shit. And you know, we would be like, if that would happen, it would be like, okay, we're not gonna act like a couple when we're there. We can hang out outside there, whether it's work or a place that you go to or whatever. Even at like a party, right? You can be a couple with somebody without actually showing that you're really a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to be all over each other.
Yeah.
Like, people know that you're together. Like, if it's friends, people know that you're together, whatever. But you don't need the fucking PDA. You don't fucking need to be around each other at the entire time at a party. Like, you see enough each other outside of that environment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, true. I mean, it's yeah. I get that. I don't know. My thing is I just want somebody that
To hold you?
to hold me and tell me everything's gonna be all right. No,
That's what I want.
No, but I just think, again, I think it's just if peaceful, supportive, and peaceful, because I like to be supportive to people.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy that.
Dude, I put, and this is one of my biggest flaws, is I can support and hype up somebody way better than I can do it for myself.
Yeah, yeah.
If
so,
I just put that energy into myself, man, I'd be fucking,
yeah,
you know,
but
I'd be fucking.
so that's that's the thing that's important. But it's what the trap I fall into is that they can't seem to help themselves.
Right.
That they don't want to help, and then all of a sudden now
Play
it's
this
just
victim
like,
card and shit.
yeah, and it's like it's just a bottomless pit. It doesn't ever.
It never gets better.
No, it
Like-
never. It doesn't. So that's why I say, and there's you. But again, if you're dealing with a 4, 5, or a 6, you don't, because sometimes if you're with someone too attractive, you'll convince yourself, well, you know, like I need to do, you know, because I may not be able to get another one like this.
Right.
You know, so you convince yourself. But if you're that, it's like, okay, we can walk away. I can be more rational.
Right.
for
Luckily,
the
I'm
most
hot
part.
as fuck, so.
Yeah.
Or as the kids say, hot at AF.
I remember one something I would say was someone would get jealous sometimes if I was talking, or they would think that I would possibly leave them for someone else. I'm like, you don't gotta worry about me leaving leaving you for someone else. You gotta worry about me leaving you for me. Like, you gotta worry about me being sick of your bullshit enough to be like, I would rather be alone.
Right.
Like, I don't need to.
Well, that's what happened, like, with my ex-girlfriend, dude. Like, it was like, okay, we had nothing in common, and now I'm just kind of spending money on where we eat, and, you know, this
Yeah.
isn't fun anymore. Like, it was like, dude, it was such a hassle to find, like, something to watch on TV, something to go eat. Like, we didn't have anything in fucking common. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is fun, and I would rather just not, like, it was almost stressful because I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, well, what are we gonna do for fun?
Right.
Or what are we gonna go do on our date on Friday or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
And just end up coming over. We'd go out to eat, and that would be it.
Yeah, I meant that. So she had no, like, interest. Like, I know you would like to watch wrestling.
Right.
Like, would she have any interest in
No.
that? Not at all. Okay.
No, and that's
So-
not a deal breaker.
No, no, I
you
get
know,
it, but that's
like,
just-
but even like I like to go to like Tigers games. I don't think she really would want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, bowling, fucking, just an activity. Like her ideal thing was like, oh, let's go to the fucking apple orchard, and it was like I don't know if I would even call it serious. But I was her first, like, serious boyfriend, I guess.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And, like, she wanted to do all this stuff for the gram. And
Yeah. She liked the idea of
Yes,
dating more than the actual
exactly. And so I'm like, man, like, if you're down to do something, I'm down. But, you know, let's make it fun. Like,
Right.
Like, let's go to fucking Top Golf, or let's go. Like, I'm even down just go to a park and fucking walk. Like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. Like, let's do something.
Yeah, no, I get that. I kind of like I like to be able to. I can be a bit of a homebody, but if you're into what I'm into, that's great. Most people aren't.
Right.
So my thing was always like, well, I want you to have your own hobbies as well. Like we can share some things, but I want you to be able to keep yourself busy.
Right.
When if I'm into something, and it's not to say like, you know, we talk to each other once a week, but it's just like maybe you're working on a little thing, I can work on something. I'd rather that be the case. But I also do like the idea of like, yeah, I want to be able to go travel to something or go to like a, there was one time when I first moved in here, right? And there was like a Comic-Con, but it was like a small, low-level one.
Right.
But I found out about it last minute. It was nearby, and I was like, yeah, we'll go over there. And it was just like, mainly it was just the comic books. There was a couple celebrities there, but nothing crazy. And but it was fun because, number one, I go there to get like just cheap, because everything you can get there cheap, you know, comic books or whatever, or you get some interesting collectibles or art. And I had moved into a house, so I wanted posters and things. And it was fun because she was able to really haggle with the people selling stuff, which I'm terrible at that. I'll do the thing of like, how much is that? They'll tell me, and I'll be like, okay, here's money. Like that's as much as I'll haggle. Maybe sometimes if I'm being crafty and I have cash on me, I'll be like, oh man, you want 25? I only got 20. Is that cool? And then they'll be like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
But that's as hard of a sell I'll do. Dude, she took this guy down from like 70 to 30. And I love that. That was something we were able to share. That's the type of thing I like to be able to do.
Right.
Is
like
that we can find something together.
I've always wanted to go to that Trans-Siberian Orchestra around the holidays,
yeah.
right?
I
I heard it's
parents.
a fucking amazing show. I would love to take an edible and go, but like that would be like a perfect fucking like date night thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, just
It's
never
a holiday thing.
right?
It's fun. Yeah.
Shit like that, and like I don't think she would have been into that. Like it was like
Yeah.
it was just, you know, just a lot of shit. Like, I had thought of something when you were talking, but I can't think of it now. And it
I was
might come
talking
back.
about doing things that you.
Yeah. So when you're doing something, she can go do whatever. So one night at the old house, when I got that TV service, right? I was setting that up, that off the server.
Oh yeah,
to get
yeah,
TV,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I was setting that up, and she got there. I was like, oh, I really want to set this up to see if it works, blah blah blah. And her response was, oh, I thought I came over to hang out with my boyfriend. I'm like, you're sitting 5 feet away from me.
Yeah. What else were you gonna do?
Watch TV.
But you had to set it up anyway.
Tunnel.
Yeah, but you had to set up the TV anyway.
Right.
So what's the
I don't
problem?
fucking know, man.
what was she want? I mean,
Like, it was so dumb, and I'm like, dude, like for real, you're getting mad at like I should just sit here and play video games and fucking ignore you.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. At my age, again, I think I put more of an emphasis of, can I just get along with you?
Can I kick it? Yes, you can.
And
can I kick it? Yes, you can.
And can I go and
Kick it?
have peace and just like chill? I don't need to party with you.
Right.
I don't want someone that parties. I don't want someone. Honestly, here's the big thing, and then I just made this decision recently. If you drink more than twice a week, you're not for me. And by the way,
Like, okay, so like heavy drinking or drinking at all?
like more than a glass of wine drinking.
Because like I wouldn't mind a
Yeah.
chick that like I could go to the bar with
Right.
and hang out.
But more than twice a week,
Yeah.
that's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's,
I mean, sometimes I go like 3 or 4, but like it's just to get out of the house.
yeah, like I don't,
But yeah, she doesn't have to be with me every time I go.
twice a week is pushing it. Like once a week, preferably. Like I don't even want like if alcohol, this is just for me. If I'm dating someone and alcohol is like a staple in their life, nope. I'm not.
I can't have a chick that doesn't drink though either.
I don't mind someone that doesn't drink. I could deal with that.
I can't deal with that just because, and it's gonna sound weird, but like if I'm at a party setting, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's drinking and you're not drinking, I feel like you're not having a good time. And that could be completely wrong. Like you could be having the best time in the world, but to me, it seems like you're not having fun because everyone's getting drunk and.
I don't know. So this is my thought on it, because I've over the years I've drank less and less, and like even the other day I was at a party and I think I had one, and I was never just a one drink guy, but I had the one. I had no interest in having. Everyone else was drinking; they're all doing shit and whatever. I just had no interest. I just had no interest in. It didn't affect. It wasn't going to increase the amount of fun that I was having. It would have only frustrated me in the long term.
Right, but like for like the
So-
perception of it, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have been fine, but like to me, I would have been like, you're not having a good time.
No, I honestly, I probably would have had a worse time if I was drinking, because I probably would have gotten like exhausted earlier because it weighs on you.
Right.
You can only it's drink for me. I look at drinking now as, again, I'm not a teetotaler. I'll drink. I'll have a shot right now. I don't give a fuck. I got a fucking bottle of Jim Beam in the freezer right there. But the point is I just don't need it. Like I don't.
Right.
It doesn't like amp something up for me.
Right.
It doesn't do anything. And I don't want someone that's chasing that. I want someone that's content. And so it falls in line with that contentness.
Yeah.
I think this is the most introspective episode we've ever done. This is, as I say this, but I want someone.
And I sparked it off with all just one question.
I know. But yeah, I want them. I don't want somebody that's chasing something. I want them to be content with what they have and only want to enhance it within reason.
I hear you.
Natural. And when I say naturally, I don't mean like in the forest. Like I
Right.
mean like, just like have it naturally occurring. Like let the chips fall where they may type thing. And instead of having to chase a good time, because there's nothing worse than when somebody is like, it's frustrating. Like I've been with girls where they want to go to a party or they want to go out, and they want it to be they have an idea in their head of how it needs to happen in order for them to have fun. And if everything doesn't align,
Well, it doesn't align from fucking the first minute because they're always fucking late.
well, there's that already. Yeah, that already puts it behind, and then it just amps everything else up beyond that. I can't fuck with that. I don't have any patience.
Because
for
like
that.
I am an on time guy.
Yeah.
You tell me a time, I'm here. Like today, I was actually late. You told me 8:30. I was here at
Yeah.
8:34, and that's not like me.
Yeah, I'm different. I go and it's more of like a
Fashionably late.
yeah. I'm a fashionably late because usually what ends up happening for me, this happened to me just the
You
other
just
day.
sleep.
Well, if it's on a weekend in the afternoon, yes. But if it's like in the evening, what'll usually happen is I'll be ready to go about a half hour before I even need to leave. But then something hits of like, oh shit, I need to do X, Y, and Z. I should go maybe stop at the store to grab this, or I should go, oh, you know what? I should probably change this. I should probably dig out these other shoes that I haven't worn before that I bought like a year ago, or some other whatever.
I should really rearrange my studio before I leave.
No, that's usually not something. But something like oh well, let me go and make sure just to put, and then something that should only take me 15 minutes usually takes a little bit longer, and the next thing I know I'm like, well fuck, I lost track of time, and then I gotta go. I think it's an ADD thing. I read about it somewhere.
Yeah, okay.
But
Everything's
that's-
a fucking disease.
That's usually what ends up happening. So and honestly, I just don't like deadlines. Like I operate purely on, I set a time and I'm like, I'll be around that time.
See, I like if my whole life, like if I could just structure my life, like
Yeah.
all right, this time I go to the gym, this time I work, this time it'd be fucking perfect.
But see, that's
But
why
I can't get myself to do that.
yeah. So that's why I don't set hard times, because I'll be more likely to follow through with something late than I will if I say I have to do it at this time and this time only. Like if I do that, I'll fail almost all the time. But if I tell myself, like the gym, for example, if I say to myself, I need to go to the gym today between the hours of 9 and 11 at night, I will go there. But if I say I need to be there no later than 9 o'clock, I probably won't. I probably won't do it. Or 8 o'clock or whatever the thing is. And if I could, because what ends up happening in my brain is I've missed that deadline. Now I've already failed. So what does it matter
Right.
if I fail further? But if I set like like just a general time, and I say, hey, I got this stuff in the list, and it's going to get done somewhere between this time and this time, I'll hit it more often. And that's I need to date somebody that understands that and is in that.
See, I need
Realm.
someone that is like, all right, you're waking up at 7 to go to the gym with me or without me, whatever. You're getting up. Okay, bam, do that. next thing. I got this on this day. Bam. I can adjust.
Yeah.
Everything planned out.
No,
It's how I work best, but it's how I work the least because I never follow through.
Yeah. You got. I think you'd probably have better results if you took a piece of my method of just say, hey, this has to happen today. I don't care when it happens. It just has to happen today. And then you just get it done. And you'll probably just procrastinate it to the last minute, but then it'll get done. And then you'll walk away with a win. And then that kind of snowballs into the next day. And then from there, you'll be able to dial in the times more naturally because you already know you're going to do it.
Yeah.
And now you can schedule it. But it's getting that habit formed. That's the mind game I have to play with myself. So, yeah, this is the inner work. This is how I accomplish anything. Is I have to do that. Like even if I've been lucky with any job that I've had for the most part, minus one corporate job I've had, where I got a very flexible start
Schedule.
time.
Yeah.
Where it was like even I think we talked about we talked about old jobs and that when I worked at the beer distributor, I had a route to do. And yeah, they said you got to start at 7:30, but they had no way to know unless
Right. Franklin Moore was fucking signing your
yeah,
shit.
unless they knew. So in my mind, all I knew is this job needs to get done. I want to get the job done by this time so I can go to school or go home or whatever the fuck it is. And I know it takes me this long to get all this done. So why start at 7 when I know I can get the shit done if I start at 9:30, 10, sometimes 11 o'clock in the morning. And I'll just figure out where I best fit. And I would just do that. And then it seems to work. I was very successful. Yeah, that's I don't know. There's just it's chaos. I understand my life is chaos sometimes because of it, and that's the reason why I need someone peaceful. That's a 4, a 5, or a 6. That's it.
Never have the same sleep schedule in 2 straight days. I try to stay structured, but
I wish I
changes a little
could.
bit.
I wish I could do that. I wish I could do a scheduled thing where I tell myself I'm going to sleep at the same time every day, but what ends up happening, I'm like, yeah, I need to be at bed by midnight. And then all of a sudden at like 11:45, I'm like, oh wait, I got this thing. I get motivated where I just like, I just got to do this one thing. I got to go just take care of this thing. And I got to go work on this thing. And next thing I know, it's like 12:15, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. And then it's like, all right, now I really got to go to bed. I'm tired. And it's just, but the thing is I have to follow when the brain starts working. I'm like, well, I got this motivation now. I better just get it done.
Yeah.
I just got to get it done.
I hear you. That's what T always says. He's like, man, you can't force it. Like you just got to do shit when you're motivated, and
Yep.
you can't be like, all right, I'm gonna do it. Just sit down and do it right now.
Yeah.
Like if it's not there, it's not there. Don't force it. But I try to go to bed around I'm in bed usually by midnight, and I stay up and I'll fall asleep anywhere between 12 and 1. Get up at I get up in the morning like. I got to be at work at 9.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up my alarm goes off at 8:23.
Mm-hmm.
I snooze it once.
Okay.
I get up, quickly put some sweats on, brush my teeth, leave by like 8:37.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm usually ready in like 5 minutes. And shower at night,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go in, dude. Like I get up so quick. And like my sister was staying with us around the holidays, and I would wake up and like walk downstairs. I'm like, all right, I'm leaving, and she's like, "That's what you do?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I come downstairs and I leave. I try to maximize my sleep, and it only takes me like, especially like if my hair's braided, I don't have to fucking do my hair.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I gotta do the full. I gotta get up, and then I go to. I get up, I go I have to take a shower. I have to. It's the only best way for me to wake up.
Right.
Is to do that. Because at that point, like there's been days if I'm working at home or I'm just even on a weekend and I'll just procrastinate doing that until like late in the afternoon. I won't be fully motivated to do a fucking thing until that's done. Like I have to do that, and then I'm dressed, and now I'm like, okay, now I'm ready for the day. Even
I'll shower like Saturday, Sunday mornings, but like every other day it's at night.
Yeah, I just don't like the way I feel. I just feel like
Gross.
yeah, I feel gross. So I do that, and I get something small to eat. I got to eat something, just something small.
Dude, I'll be shitting all day if I eat in the morning.
I eat something. I don't eat like a heavy breakfast.
Like I had a punchki today. A punchki, right?
Yeah.
Because it's Fat Tuesday, right?
I didn't even know.
So I
that.
had a punchki. I was shitting all fucking day at work.
Well, yeah, I would do the same. That's fucking not good for you. I eat like a couple eggs.
It was just because it was in the morning, though. If I would have ate it at like noon, it would have been fine.
I don't know. I eat a couple eggs and maybe a couple piece
the
of bacon.
price of eggs went up, so I can't fucking afford them.
I go to Costco. If you get the 5 dozen, they're the same price as they always have been. But you gotta get a 5 dozen at a time.
I don't eat that many eggs.
Well, you learn to.
You're just fucking cracking them up like Hogan in a fucking glass and just drinking it.
Yeah. I made.
Have you ever tried that, by the way? Just drinking.
Not really. There's been times I've made. Actually, this weekend I was making fried eggs, but I was in a rush, so I kind of ate them half raw.
Were they bad?
Nah,
Because it doesn't.
it didn't taste. Honestly, it was just a slightly cooler version of like a fried egg.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it would be too gross.
Yeah, I mean it was slightly cooked, but it was definitely like not fully.
Well, I'm talking like just cracking it and put it in a glass.
No.
No cooking at all.
No, but I'd assume it would be outside of the egg
everyone's
whites. The egg whites is probably would be the gross part out of it. The yolk part, that probably.
Well, the
wouldn't.
whites would just be it would just be like a goo.
Well, that's what I mean though. Like the
Yeah.
yolk is typically usually more on the softer end anyway.
Right.
So and it's solid. It's all one piece. But the egg whites is probably what would make things gross. But if you swallow it all in one piece, it's probably fine.
I mean, I heard it's healthy.
Yeah. I mean, you could get a chance of salmonella, but yeah, you get. But that's
Whatever. Napoleon Dynamite didn't die.
That's true. But yeah, I got to do that, and then I'm ready to go. And I drink the coffee in the morning.
I was thinking about this the other day. I haven't had a coffee in 15 years.
Really?
And the only time I ever drank it, there was one Christmas that I worked at Gordon Food Service, and it was the first time I was pulling like 12-hour shifts.
Yeah.
And so like I would drink it, but I would put like a French vanilla cappuccino coffee creamer in there. And I didn't really care for it, but I needed a lot of those creamers to make it taste good to me.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, I was like, I wonder if I like the taste of coffee now, because most people don't like it when they're younger, and it's something that kind of grows on people. And I wouldn't even know what to order if I ordered a coffee.
So I don't put anything in it. I just drink it black, and I don't necessarily like the taste. Like the taste is secondary. I drink it because it's effective.
Right.
It's like taking a shot. You're just kind of like you just sip it down, and then eventually at first it's bitter, but then you don't think about it. It's kind of like when I was younger, I didn't like the taste of beer.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
I don't think anyone does it when they start drinking in high school.
But
or
you
whatever.
just drink it anyway for the effect.
Yeah.
Same thing. That's the same way I am with coffee. Is I just drink it.
That's how I'm with beer now. I can't fucking drink it. I don't like the taste of beer now because I haven't drank it in so many years, and it seems like it's like I'm in high school again, where I'm forcing myself to drink it if I drink it just to get drunk.
Yeah, and honestly, a coffee's better than an energy drink. I prefer that than doing like a 5-hour or a Monster or any other shit. The only energy drink I really drink is like a Red Bull now, because it doesn't have all that much caffeine like the other ones do.
I just don't want to have to rely on the shit. Like I don't mind 5-hour energies. Like I'll take them. Like if I have, like say I have to DJ something after work or something, and I need a little pick me up. Like I'll do that, and I'll usually drink like half of it at a time. But like I don't mind that because I do get energy from it.
Yeah.
But like it's quick and. But I just don't want to have my body rely on it. That's why I kind of stay away from coffee and other shit or like the energy drinks, because I don't want to I don't want to get headaches if I don't drink it, or I don't want to be like super tired if I don't drink it or shit like that.
Well, there's a couple of things. Like I remember there was a period where I was drinking like 5 hours. I would drink like 2 of the 5 hours every day. This is when I was doing the mortgage stuff, and I remember the headaches. The days I didn't take it were brutal.
Right.
And then
It's addicted to caffeine.
yeah, but it was a little bit more than that because it was just so highly concentrated, and I would just feel bad. That was just too much. And then I went to coffee, and that one's a little bit more. It's a more of an easier. It doesn't last as long,
Right.
but you get the little spike, but it's like a gradual decline. You don't have, especially if you don't put sugar in it.
Right.
Sugar is what fucks you up. So if you don't put sugar in it, you get a gradual decline. Red Bull is a little bit better if I drink the small ones because they're only 70. There's 70 grams of caffeine in that.
Right.
It's not a ton.
I can't do the taste because of the Jaeger bombs when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like I can't drink Jaeger or any
But-
kind of energy drink without getting sick.
But a standard like I want to say Coke, or even like a Dr Pepper is like roughly like 60 milligrams of caffeine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost the same amount. And I used to drink that as a kid all the time. And I remember I would get the caffeine headaches. So I definitely drink more caffeine now that I'm older because I tend to burn the candle at both ends. I'm busier. But when I don't have a lot going on, I'll maybe have like a cup a day.
Dude, I think it was like last Thursday or Friday, I drank a Mountain Dew for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
And I drank it from like 9 a.m. because I was tired. 9 a.m. to like, I finished at probably 9:30, 9:45. Dude, I was jittery for hours. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, I couldn't believe, like, I never get like that. And I'm like,
it's
I was
got-
like, so like when I was on my call,
Yeah.
my weekly call, like, I was like, she was like, you seem like really like antsy. And I'm like, yeah, I am. I go, I drank this Mountain Dew and I feel, I'm all hyped up on Mountain Dew.
But Mountain Dew's got basically the same caffeine as a small Red Bull.
Right.
There's a lot of caffeine in that. So it's, I mean, this little fucking water's got 30. This is AHA.
Aha.
I mean, I had 2 espresso shots and I had this AHA while we're sitting here. That's like 200 milligrams.
That's why you can't sleep at night.
Honestly, well, the thing is that I'll sleep. I'll probably go to bed at like 2:00.
Yeah, it's fucking. That's 3 hours from now.
Yeah, but I got up at like 9. So I get up at that's 7 hours. It's a decent night's sleep. Last night I was out. I went to bed, it was still in the PM. So that's how you know. I slept for almost like 12 hours. It was amazing. But the last week was a fucking crazy, crazy week. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. What's important is that I think that this episode really shows the maturity
Of us.
as this podcast has progressed over the last 2 years. Think about where we were 2 years ago. Would we have as mature of a conversation about?
I don't know. We had a very mature COVID episode. Corona me crazy.
Well, that was different though. That was different. But this one is mature about like we're aging, we're understanding what we want in life and how to run our lives.
We're keeping it 100,
Mm-hmm.
like 1,000 dimes.
That's right. That's right.
I know. I got that from a T the Monster song.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's pretty good. But I think I don't know. I mean, I'll tell you this: for not having anything prepared here.
And we found your future wife walking down the road.
No, that is not. I would not do that at all. I want nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with it.
Well, speaking of your future wife and love, we still got 64 Bits of Love coming.
Yes, that's coming.
Season 2.
Yep.
Someone's getting lucky.
Yep.
What else we got? We got other shit. We got this.
Yeah, we still got this going on a regular basis. There's some projects I can't say what it is, but I would say that if you're not subscribed on Twitch or at least following the Twitch channel, you're missing out on a big piece of content there because there's a lot of stuff that's in the works
In the works.
for that, and then and the podcast.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff.
64
coming
Bits
up.
of Love. There's more
Yes.
unique episodes coming up with the podcast.
Yes.
We have, if you're looking for, something else, the Legends Layover. We
Yep.
got 5 episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th episode just dropped this week. Go check out that. Go check out T the Monster on Spotify. Go check out on us.
Yeah.
check us out.
YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube's where it's at. The Rumble's up there if you,
You
missed
check
it.
us out enough, we might have to open up an OnlyFans.
Maybe.
If you check us out enough.
Maybe.
But I guess this is kind of wrapping up.
Yeah.
But until next time, I am Bobby Caboose. This is Melvin Troy. And what are you going to do, brother, when the 64-bit legends and all of the honorary legends and the maniacs run wild on you?
Oh, that's a good question.
What are you going to do?
You should. You know what? Someone should do. Should write an essay on that.
Yeah.
500 words.
And submit it
Submit.
to our DMs.
Yes.
And we will read it live
Yes.
next
They'll be
week.
like, listen, this is what I'm going to do. It's a step-by-step plan.
Yep. We need a business plan. So what are you going to